3,000 years ago, there was a peerless genius who appeared in the world, with strength overwhelming all heroes sweeping across the land, finally establishing the no-one sect of the myriad religions in the godless continent. It is said, that person engraved everything they learned in their entire life onto a stone stele. It's a pity that after the unexpected death of the previous sect leader, no one in the myriad religions could thoroughly understand the mysteries within the stele. The sect also fell from a great height, falling into the lowest rank. No one knows how much time has passed, when suddenly a majestic voice echoed throughout the myriad religions. Today is the Outer Courtyard Disciples Assessment Ceremony. Our sect holds it once every 3 years. Sitting high above the 6th sect leader of the myriad religions spoke, the rules are simple. Just place your hand on the spirit platform. Stele, if it glows, you pass. Those who do not meet the standards will all be expelled from the myriad religions. Hearing this announcement, the disciples below were all astonished. What expelled? Not far away, a young man sat on a boulder, a blade of grass in his mouth, casually looking around. The young man looked into the distance, thinking unexpectedly, I have been reborn into the body of my disciple, and I have even returned to the sect that I founded. However, this is indeed fate, an opportunity to rise again. 36 main gods. You definitely didn't think I was still alive, did you? Wait until I return to the 9 heavens. I will surely use divine blood to open the heavens. After saying these words, the young man punched the boulder hard, showing his determination. A rare hint of malice appeared in the young man's eyes. Your beautiful days are coming to an end. This sound startled the surrounding disciples. They looked towards the young man and shouted, Jiang Than, what madness has possessed this good for nothing? Who knows, maybe the assessment scared him silly. He's been in the sect for 3 years and hasn't made any progress in cultivation today. He will definitely be expelled from the sect. On the other side, the 6th sect leader's face was filled with anger as he pointed at Jiang Than and ordered Jiang Than, this is the assessment ceremony, don't cause trouble, hurry up and get over here. This was the first time someone had scolded him like this. Jiang Than frowned and said coldly, cause trouble. Then he strode leisurely forward, not even bothering to look at the 6th sect leader. The 6th sect leader gritted his teeth in anger. You Jiang Than, he muttered, if I'm causing trouble. Jiang Than's hand rested on the stone stele. A golden light flashed. The light slowly spread, completely covering the stele, causing it to crack. This terrifying scene shocked everyone present. They were in disbelief. How could the foundation stele of the sect shatter? The 6th sect leader stammered the stele. It's broken, broken. Not stopping there, Jiang Than roared, even the heavens are not worthy to control me. As he finished speaking, energy erupted from Jiang Than's palm, spreading in all directions. The stele completely shattered into pieces. Looking at Jiang Than's departing figure, the 6th sect leader felt a sense of panic in his heart. Oh no, I might have ruined things. His face turned ashen, and he gritted his teeth in anger. The sturdiness of the myriad religion's stele is extremely rare. Even if attacked by divine weapons, it wouldn't budge at all. Now it was lightly touched by a good-for-nothing, and that's not right. There must have been a secret arrangement beforehand, or perhaps the fate of the sect has truly come to an end. Thinking of this, the 6th sect leader couldn't help but shed tears. In the 6th sect leader's astonished gaze, the disciples left one after another. Let's go! Let's go! No more assessment, even the foundation stele of the sect has shattered. What kind of sect is this anymore? That's right. This time I'm afraid we won't even qualify for the lowest rank. Going back to farm and marry a wife might be more comfortable than staying here. Jiang Than also noticed the commotion on the other side, inwardly commenting, look at them scared out of their wits, truly useless. However, that broken stone was just a discarded thing. If I hadn't been so idle and bored back then, it would probably still be lining the latrine. Suddenly, a chubby hand tugged at Jiang Than's sleeve. A frightened voice said louder. Jiang Than turned his head and saw a fat young man behind him, looking at him with a worried expression. This time you're in trouble, brother. Jiang Than sized up the chubby young man and grunted. In Jiang Than's mind, he assessed this chubby guy with a scar on his face. Hoa Jia was the only good friend of the original body, Jiang Lu. However, this guy's physique is somewhat unusual. Jiang Than looked at Jiang Lu and smiled, saying, it's all right, Jiang Lu, no need to worry. Just at this moment, a voice rang out. Those disciples who wish to stay will continue the assessment to enter the ninefold gates. Hearing this, Jiang Than looked towards the 6th sect leader and called out, hey, only the 2 of us are left. How about we just skip the test? The 6th sect leader was so angry at Jiang Than's words that he trembled. You can leave the myriad religions, the 6th sect leader said, but the rules of the myriad religions cannot be defied. If you are accepted by the 9 paths of the divine will, you can become an inner sect disciple. Hearing this, Jiang Than felt uncomfortable and annoyed. He turned around to leave. Leave, fine, leave. Then don't regret it. In Jiang Than's mind, he thought, why don't I remember setting up this rule in the first place? Jiang Lu hurriedly chased after Jiang Than, panting, Laodar, wait for me. In the end, Jiang Than and Jiang Lu arrived at the ancient training ground. The sixth sect leader looked at their departing figures in the distance, sighing helplessly in his heart. Out of the entire outer courtyard, disciples only 2 good-for-nothings are left. It seems heaven wants the myriad religions to perish. Over here, Jiang Than reached out and opened the door. This was the ancient training ground. Inside there were many stone statues arranged neatly. After seeing Jiang Than appear, all the stone statues showed fear. Jiang Than looked at the familiar figures, the corner of his mouth twitching, as he thought, my 8 disciples. From when I was in the 9 heavens, every one of you gave me ridiculous nicknames. I haven't even had time to deal with you yet. Jiang Than moved towards the group of statues and furiously smashed them. You still dare to assess me? Break, break, break. After a moment of frenzy, almost all the stone statues were smashed to pieces by Jiang Than. Only one last stone statue remained, looking extremely ugly. Jiang Than glared fiercely. Who made this statue? What are you standing there for so ugly? What's the point of leaving it in this world? Hurry up and disappear for me. The statue was so frightened that tears and snot ran down its face. It had no choice but to shatter. Jiang Lu looked at this scene extremely panicked. What's going on? But Jiang Than snorted coldly with disdain. Humph, daring to test me, truly rebellious. Just at this moment, the sixth sect leader opened the door of the ancient training ground and said with contempt, since the 2 of you couldn't be accepted, don't waste any more time assessing these 2. Good-for-nothings is truly a waste of resources. The scene before them made the sixth sect leader and the people behind him widen their eyes in horror and shout, divine statues, divine. He gritted his teeth. Jiang Than, what on earth have you done? The group of people behind him rushed forward, frantically attacking Jiang Than's sect leader. This is a jinx, kill him now. Hearing this, the sixth sect leader also attacked Madly Die. Jiang Than stood on the side, leisurely crossing his arms as he looked at the remnants of souls and said, this matter really needs an explanation. I know the evil thoughts of your 8 divine souls are still here. Quickly deal with this for me, or wait until I return to the 9 heavens. The remnants of souls were extremely frightened and a golden light was emitted. A large line of text appeared, honor this person, as the master enshrine this person, as the Saint Jiang Than stood suspended in midair, feeling pleased in his heart. These little brats are quite capable after all. The group of people outside looked at this scene dumbfounded in fear. This is a divine decree. This kid has been accepted by the gods. Does heaven want to destroy our myriad religions? No, does heaven want to revive our myriad religions? Jiang Lu raised his head and looked up with admiration, saying, wow, Lao Da, since when did you become so powerful? Landing on the ground, Jiang Than had no internal force or cultivation whatsoever. He was just a mortal. The sixth sect leader couldn't accept this reality and twisted the truth, saying perhaps the divine decree wasn't for you, but for me. Jiang Than angrily snorted, shameless. Jiang Than questioned, looking at the group of people in front of him with no cultivation whatsoever. Then tell me what level of cultivation is considered acceptable. The sixth sect leader crossed his arms and said, at your age, with 9 spirit meridians, you should have opened at least 3. Jiang Than's face fell. At this age, only opened 3 spirit meridians. How much do you look down on me? As long as I want, I can open all 9 spirit meridians right now. The group of people, including the sixth sect leader, were dumbfounded, not expecting Jiang Than to say such a thing. Then they all burst into wild laughter. What is this kid talking about? 9 spirit meridians right now? How amusing, truly a youth who doesn't know the immensity of the heavens, a good-for-nothing who doesn't know the difficulty of cultivation. The corner of Jiang Than's mouth slightly lifted. His palm clenched tightly and his entire body erupted with energy. A bunch of unfilial descendants, you don't even believe the words of your ancestor. Looking at the spiritual power released by Jiang Than, the smiles on the faces of the sixth sect leader and the others disappeared, replaced by genuine shock. Spirit meridians, can they be opened just like that, they thought. Watching the spiritual energy continuously being absorbed by Jiang Than, they exclaimed in disbelief. Crimson aura appears, primordial energy enters the body. He has opened the first spirit meridian. Impossible, it must be a fluke. In the godless continent, cultivation involves martial arts and the Tao. The martial Tao has 4 realms: body tempering, chi gathering, spirit connection, and origin manifestation. Each realm is further divided into 3 levels, upper, middle, and lower. Jiang Than's whole body glowed as he mused. The myriad religions has indeed declined. It's no wonder people are whispering about it. In any case, this is a sect I built with my own hands. After this, I must manage it properly. At this moment, the group of people finally realized in horror, no, it's not a fluke. He broke through again, and it hasn't even been half an incense stick's time. It was truly unimaginable. 4, 5, 6, 9. In the short time it takes for an incense stick to burn, he had become a spirit connection realm martial arts practitioner. With such a cultivation speed, who could possibly keep up? Jiang Lu pondered in his heart. 9 spirit meridians, then the sect leader. The sixth sect leader's mouth was agape at this moment, unable to believe his eyes. Jiang Than's eyes slowly opened. He dusted off his hands and then said provocatively, "Is that all right now?" The sixth sect leader frowned and gritted his teeth. "How did this kid do that, teach?" He pointed at Jiang Than and declared, "From this day forward, Jiang Than is the holy son of our myriad religions, the future sect leader." The group of people couldn't believe their ears this. In the end, they had no choice but to clasp their hands and bow respectfully towards Jiang Than, saying, "Greetings, holy son." Jiang Than was still not happy, "Holy son, letting an old ancestor like me be your successor." Jiang Than pointed at his face and declared, "The myriad religions is declining more and more, and this has an extremely close relationship with the sect leader. In my opinion, there's no need to bestow upon me the title of Holy Son. You can directly pass the position of sect leader to me." The sixth sect leader's subordinate angrily pointed at Jiang Than and shouted, "Impudent! How dare you speak to the sect leader like that?" The sixth sect leader was calmer and spoke with a sneer, "Young man, cultivation should be done step by step. Being so arrogant will easily lead to an early death." Jiang Than indifferently closed his eyes and said, "Oh, is that so? 3,000 years ago, the myriad religions excelled in everything weapon refining, alchemy formations, and talisman crafting. Now tell me, what are your areas of expertise, and what has been lost?" Jiang Than lightly stomped his foot on the ground and shot forward. "Furthermore, under your leadership, the myriad religions has become the lowest-ranked ninth-rate sect. As the sect leader, you haven't even stepped into the Tao realm. Do you still have the face to continue holding this position of sect leader?" The two men's eyes met, sparks almost flying between them. The sixth sect leader said, "A spirit connection, realm cultivator who has just opened 9 spirit meridians, has no right to question me. Since you want to become the sect leader, I will give you a chance." He laid out his condition: "Within 1 year, if your cultivation catches up to mine, I will pass the position of sect leader to you." Jiang Than said nonchalantly, without any worry, 1 year, 3 months is enough. Then he didn't forget to remind, "If I don't enter the Tao realm within 3 months, you can do whatever you want with me. During this time, don't disturb my cultivation." After speaking, he stepped inside the sect leader's hall. The people outside looked at this scene and asked doubtfully, "Isn't the sect leader's hall only accessible to you, sect leader?" The sixth sect leader could do nothing but shout, "Shut your mouths." He said viciously, "A puny spirit connection realm cultivator, a fool who seeks the Tao. Since you have deliberately sought death, I will grant your wish." Over here, Jiang Lu observed everything, his heart filled with endless worry. "Brother, then you have become so powerful now, can I still stay by your side?" Within the outer courtyard of the myriad religions, there stood a dilapidated building, the scene desolate and devoid of any vitality. Right here, the myriad religions and the Thin Vo sect faced each other. The myriad religion side looked very meek, while the Thin Vo sect was arrogant and rampant. They sneered, "They can't even withstand one of my attacks. And these are the strongest inner disciples of the myriad religions, so the myriad religions has fallen to this state. I think it's almost time for disbandment, truly a pointless challenge, not a single worthy opponent." A disciple from the myriad religions said seriously, "Out of respect for our sect leader, please show us some respect." But then that disciple was also beaten until his body was mangled and his spirit was weakened. The person from the Thin Vo sect laughed madly. "Sect leader, do you mean that even your sect leader's cultivation is no match for our grand elders? What can we young masters possibly gain from him?" The sixth sect leader was so angry that veins popped out on his forehead, but he didn't dare to escalate things. "Elder Muck, your sect's disciples are being a bit too excessive." Meanwhile, the disciple on the ground cried out in pain, "Don't kill me, Mukfong." Ngo from the Thin Vo sect narrowed his eyes, his voice a bit impatient. "And so what if I do? Isn't your cultivation equally weak?" He reached out his hand, releasing spiritual power. The sixth sect leader exclaimed in alarm, "Stop." But before he could finish speaking, his mouth was tightly covered by Mukfong Ngo's hand. Even the sect leader is so weak. Does the myriad religions still need to exist? The sixth sect leader was sent flying, blood spraying everywhere. The group of people from the myriad religions lay flat against the wall, not daring to resist. Ignoring the Thin Vo sect's group, Mukfong Ngo stepped inside the myriad religions and ordered guards take me to the sect leader's hall. "I declare that from today onwards, the myriad religions will officially merge into my Thin Vo sect." Immediately after the sixth sect leader and the disciple from before sat together, the sixth sect leader lamented sorrowfully, "Could it be that the myriad religions will be destroyed in my hands?" The disciple seemed to remember something and reported sect leader Jiang Than. The sixth sect leader said despondently, "What can a great perfection spirit connection realm cultivator like him possibly change?" The disciple analyzed, but he broke through 9 spirit meridians within a few breaths. Perhaps there will be some miracle. The sixth sect leader thought about Jiang Than. At that time, his heart filled with contemplation. Could it be that I really have to go and beg him? On the other side, the mocking laughter of the Thin Vo sect echoed again, a bunch of good-for-nothings. It seems the myriad religions will be destroyed by the wind today. The sixth sect leader clenched his fists, his eyes wide with unwillingness. No, the myriad religions cannot be destroyed in my hands. Over here, Jiang Tan was still sitting cross-legged in cultivation. His whole body radiated spiritual power. Jiang Tan murmured 13th Spirit Meridian success. Jiang Tan sat up a ball of glowing spiritual energy in his palm. Jiang Tan analyzed in his mind this 9 heavens stellar art can open 36 spirit meridians. After reaching the great perfection, those 36 spirit meridians can be condensed. Transforming into heavenly stars, the heavenly stars are imperishable. True key is inexhaustible. It's just that it seems no one can open beyond 9 spirit meridians. So it was relegated to a low-grade cultivation technique. Now that I'm reborn, I won't have to experience the meridian opening of my previous life again. Jiang Tan sat on the chair full of doubt. However, I remember putting this cultivation technique in the scripture repository. Why didn't those unfilial descendants practice it? Jiang Tan's gaze lifted, seeing the sixth sect leader appear. He looked haggard and said with difficulty, "You." Jiang Tan sat above and asked, "What have you thought it over and want to yield the position to me?" The sixth sect leader was so angry he couldn't do anything if it weren't for the disciples of the Thin Vo sect coming to challenge us. "Do you think I would want to look for you?" Jiang Tan's eyes were full of contemplation. "Why are you still getting beaten up?" The sixth sect leader's face was filled with unwillingness and helplessness. Now even the strongest inner disciples have lost. Perhaps the fate of my myriad religions has come to an end. Jiang Tan was surprised. "Oh, being bullied like this. What kind of sect leader are you?" In his heart, he couldn't help but feel a sense of loss. The number 1 sect that I initially built has actually fallen to such a state. The sixth sect leader tried to explain that Thin Vo sect. Before he could finish speaking, Jiang Tan burst out with overwhelming momentum. Confronting the Thin Vo sect, the Thin Vo sect invaded madly, killing people of the myriad religions. Without mercy, trash of the myriad religions, my Thin Vo sect is invincible. A person from the Thin Vo sect grabbed the collar of a myriad religions disciple and said disdainfully, "The myriad religions has declined to such an extent. I think it's almost time for disbandment. Moreover, my Thin Vo sect has already applied to the Martial Pavilion for advancement. Soon the Thin Vo sect will be an 8th-rate sect, much stronger than your 9th-rate sect." The 6th sect leader looked at Jiang Tan and said, "Jiang Tan, their lowest cultivation level is already the lower body tempering realm. If you lose, the last bit of dignity of the myriad religions will be gone." Jiang Tan narrowed his eyes and chuckled. "Lol, you say that as if the myriad religions has any dignity left now. Dignity is earned through fighting, not relying on empty words." After speaking, Jiang Tan strode forward with full momentum. The 6th sect leader behind him asked worriedly, "Then, what if you can't win?" Jiang then completely ignored him. "Can't win?" Jiang Tan analyzed in his mind. "I have already opened 13 spirit meridians. The true key in my body is extremely abundant, let alone the lower body tempering realm. Even the middle body tempering realm cannot break my defense." Jiang Tan stepped forward. "You guys, come at me together then." He reached out his hand. The disciples of the Thin Vo sect clamored. The group of people from the Thin Vo sect looked at Jiang Tan and laughed mockingly. "You are the holy son of the myriad religions, a little good for nothing in the upper spirit connection realm." Jiang Tan wiggled his ears and said, "Didn't you understand what I said? Disciples of the Thin Vo sect, come at me together. Don't waste my time." Jiang Tan reached out his hand provocatively. That disciple's face changed drastically. "You want to die, don't you?" Then he lunged forward, releasing a stream of flames. "One finger of mine is enough to crush you." Jiang Tan frowned and said, "One finger so." On the other side, the Thin Vo sect disciple's whole body radiated spiritual power, and he slashed a saber towards Jiang Tan, shattering Grief Hand. The saber struck down with tremendous force, spiritual power erupting in all directions. The group of people from the Thin Vo sect cheered excitedly. "Kill him. Senior brother is amazing." Lu sect leader looked at this scene in horror and retreated backward. "Why am I still foolish enough to hold on to hope?" That disciple laughed maniacally. Arrogant, huh? Dying is not enough to atone for it." But before he could finish speaking, a figure stepped out from behind the smoke, a cold voice ringing out, "Is this what you call using one finger to crush me?" The 6th sect leader's eyes widened in astonishment. But the people of the Thin Vo sect were equally astonished. How can this be? Shattering Grief Hand is a low-grade yellow rank martial skill. One palm strike can shatter gold and crack stone. This kid, how is he all right? Jiang Tan's eyes flashed with fire as he said impatiently, "I told you, come at me together. Don't waste time." The group of people from the Thin Vo sect were so ashamed that their anger flared up. They rushed forward, madly arrogant brat courting death. "Today we'll teach you that being too arrogant will lead to an early grave. We'll teach you to behave." They reached out their hands, combining their attacks and releasing flames towards Jiang Tan. The sixth sect leader shouted in fear. Jiang Than quickly dodged. Jiang Than stood in the middle, completely unharmed by the flames. He said nonchalantly, "What rubbish?" Jiang Than waved his hand. He blew away the flames and said disdainfully, "Haven't you eaten?" The group of people exclaimed in shock, "What is this guy, a monster?" Jiang Than's lips curled up at the corner. "Now it's my turn to make a move." Spirit meridians open, his palm extended. A bolt of lightning was released, striking out fiercely in all directions. Seeing this terrifying power, the group of people's eyes widened in horror. They cried out in their hearts, "No, no, this is bad." Then they reached out their hands, forming a shield. But the shield was useless. They were sent flying far away by the spiritual power. The people of the Thinvo sect looked at this scene, unable to help but assess the power of spirit. Meridian Ki is so great, even the combined attack of 4 senior brothers couldn't defeat that guy. Mukfong Ngo snorted coldly, well, a holy son who dares to kill my sect's disciples in front of me. Do you take this old man for non-existent? Jiang Than didn't yield at all, instead provoking Thinvo sect. Is this a sore loser? In his heart, he assessed this old man has upper origin manifestation, realm cultivation. If we really fight, I don't have a chance to win right now. Mukfong Ngo held his sword, placing it in front of him, and slowly said, "Whether you lose or win today, I represent the Thinvo sect, and have only 2 things to do here. First, to pay respects to the mountain. Second, to carry out the sect leader's order, to make the myriad religions submit to the Thinvo sect. Submit or die, 1,000 hands." Ashura Mukfong Ngo flew into the sky, countless arms wielding swords sprouting from his body. Seeing Mukfong Ngo make his move, the group of people were extremely frightened and shouted loudly, running forward, Don't attack me, run quickly." Jiang Than, why did you provoke him today? I'm afraid even the sect gate of our myriad religions will be destroyed. The 6th sect leader slumped down, devoid of hope, and said, If I don't agree to him, will the myriad religions really be exterminated?" Jiang Than covered his forehead with his hand, feeling frustrated in his heart to think that the dignified sect leader of a religion could become like this, truly disgracing my old self. Jiang Than looked towards the 6th sect leader and said, "Chase this person away. This is no longer your business." The 6th sect leader roared angrily, "Nonsense, Jiang Than, quickly retreat. How can a spirit connection realm cultivator like you change the situation?" Jiang Than looked angrily at the 6th sect leader and questioned the dignified sect leader of the myriad religions, is actually trembling in fear at the elder of the opposing side. "What use is a sect leader like you? I'll give you 10 breaths of time. Get the people of the Thinvo sect out of the myriad religions, otherwise all of you can stay here." Over here, Mukfong Ngo looked towards the people of the myriad religions and shouted angrily, "You ants! You even dare to speak so arrogantly? Slaughtering Guanyin." Mukfong Ngo unleashed his move. The image of a massive vortex swept through everything it passed. The 6th sect leader shouted in fear, "This is bad." Jiang Than reached out his hand and released a beam of green light. "Grab him for me." The beam of light, like a snake, shot towards Mukfong Ngo. He was terrified. Such immense pressure. Very quickly after, Mukfong Ngo was struck by the green light and sent flying. He crashed onto the ground. Jiang Than snorted coldly, "My home turf, and you still want to kill me?" The people at the scene saw Mukfong Ngo killed and exclaimed in shock, Dead, how can this be?" Jiang Than was smug in his heart. "If this were anywhere else, my strength truly wouldn't be enough to kill you. But this is the myriad religions. The lingering divine souls of my disciples can kill anyone for me." The people of the Thinvo sect were extremely terrified. They turned around and fled Monster Run. The 6th sect leader looked at Jiang Than curiously and asked, "How did you do that?" Jiang Than ignored him, saying unpleasantly, "What's it to you? I originally intended to give you a chance, but now it seems you're not qualified for the position of sect leader." The 6th sect leader was so ashamed that his anger flared up. He pointed at Jiang Than. "I'm not qualified, are you?" Seeing him go back on his word, Jiang Than threatened coldly, "If you dare to move, Mukfong Ngo's fate will be yours." Looking at Mukfong Ngo dead on the ground, the 6th sect leader was so frightened that he couldn't speak. Jiang Than ordered his subordinates, "Go talk to the martial pavilion. Tell them the myriad religions has a new sect leader. Also go to the treasure repository and bring me some spirit stones." The subordinates stood still, hesitating that. Jiang Than changed his mind. "I'll go get them myself. You guys are too slow." At the myriad religions treasure repository, Jiang Than was shocked to find the place completely empty. He asked anxiously, where are the rare and precious treasures I left behind?" Veins popped out on Jiang Than's forehead as he growled, "These spendthrift losers." A moment later, Jiang Than finally accepted the truth and gloomily ordered a subordinate, "Prepare a spirit steed for me. I want to go to the pill pavilion." Jiang Than thought to himself, going to the pill pavilion to refine some pills might salvage things a little. A moment later, the scene before him made Jiang Than doubt his existence again. The subordinate brought out an old donkey and said with a smile, "Sect leader, there are no more spirit steeds." This donkey isn't bad at all. It won't get tired even on the 30-mile journey from our place to Than Van Town. In Than Van Town, Jiang Than had no choice but to sit on the old donkey. Jiang Than was dejected in his heart. I'm truly the first sect leader to ride a donkey. Once I have money, I will definitely buy a spirit steed very quickly. Jiang Than's group arrived in front of the city gate. The guarding soldiers stepped forward to stop them, saying with a sneer, "Hey, you donkey rider, our place isn't for people like you to enter." Jiang Than's face changed, and he gave them a cold glare. Jiang Than held the donkey's reins, raised an eyebrow, and said with a bored expression, "What did you say?" The two gate guards blocking the entrance laughed. "Than Van Town doesn't allow livestock in. Didn't you know? I've never seen a cultivator ride a donkey before. It's hilarious." Jiang Than's face turned serious. "I am Jiang Than, the sect leader of the myriad religions. Get out of the way." The two gate guards were truly ignorant and continued to sneer the myriad religions. "What's that? Have you even heard of it?" The other one chimed in. "I haven't. It's probably some shabby place. You know how some people like to establish their own shabby sects." Hearing this, Jiang Than was truly angry and repeated in a low growl, "Lowly beings." Jiang Than vented all his anger into a palm strike, causing the two men to flip over simultaneously. Shabby sect. The powerful punch sent the two men flying, slamming into the city walls on either side. Both were seriously injured, coughing up blood. The two gate guards were terrified, their eyes wide, as they looked at Jiang Than. Their voices trembled. "No way, a spirit connection realm cultivator actually injured us too, body-tempering realm cultivators." Jiang Than stepped closer to them. Flames flickered in Jiang Than's eyes. "Can I enter now?" The donkey beside him chewed grass, while looking at the two gate guards with disdain. The two men, their faces bruised and swollen, huddled together in fear, thinking to themselves, This is killing intent. He really intends to kill us." The two gate guards forced a smile and cleared the way for Jiang Than. "Yes, please come in." Jiang Than smiled. "It would have been better if you had done this sooner." Jiang Than walked in, stretching as he went, "Always making me take action, my old bones." The two gate guards watched him go, gritting their teeth, their faces full of unwillingness. Jiang Than led the donkey to a door. Leaving the donkey in the courtyard, Jiang Than opened the door and stepped inside, calling out, "Hey, errand boy." The two gate guards exchanged sinister smiles. They secretly untied the donkey's rope. Jiang Than entered the shop and asked the person there, "Do you have blood spirit grass?" Jiang Than thought to himself, blood spirit grass is a medicinal herb that absorbs the essence of the earth's blood to grow. If I have it, I can refine spirit pills to enhance my strength. The shopkeeper seemed to ignore Jiang Than, continuing his work without looking up as he replied, "I'm not the errand boy. Come back and ask later." Suddenly a snort came from behind, drawing Jiang Than's attention. Lam Van, with Tuyet Ni clinging to his arm, stepped into the shop. His voice was mocking. "Someone so shabby still wants to buy blood spirit grass. Have you counted the spirit stones in your pocket?" Tuyet Ni leaned intimately against Lam Van, acting coquettishly. "Brother Lam Van, Tuyet Ni also wants to buy blood spirit grass." Hearing this, Jiang Than also glanced at himself covered in dust and thought, these clothes really need changing. Jiang Than brushed the dust off his clothes. "How do you know I can't afford it?" Lam Van said with disdain, "Of course, because this blood spirit grass is a gift I want to buy for my little sister, Tuyet Nu. Blood spirit grass is rare in this town. The Pill Pavilion only has one stalk. How are you worthy to compete with me?" As he spoke, Lam Van tossed out a spirit stone. Lam Van said, "This middle-grade spirit stone is like a gift from me. Take it quickly and get lost." The spirit stone rolled and fell at Jiang Than's feet. Jiang Than's face darkened, and he said nothing. At this moment, Jiang Than stepped on the spirit stone on the ground and challenged, "You want me to yield today? We'll see who the Pill Pavilion sells the blood spirit grass to." With that, Jiang Than picked up a calligraphy brush, dipped it in the Pill Pavilion's ink, and using the pill furnace as a foundation, Jiang Than began to draw the first strokes on the paper. "Of course, I'll use pills to trade." Jiang Than wielded the brush for a while, and lines of text appeared before his eyes. Jiang Than finished writing and put down the brush. Holding the paper he had just written on, Jiang Than's face was full of satisfaction, showing off in front of me. Jiang Than placed the paper on the table and said, "I am willing to exchange this hemostasis powder prescription for the blood spirit grass." Lam Vien's mouth twitched in confusion. "What kind of cheap prescription is this? I've never even heard of it." The shopkeeper hurriedly snatched the paper, exclaiming in great surprise, "Hemostasis powder prescription." The shopkeeper's eyes shone brightly as he looked at it, his mouth agape. Lam Vien, standing beside him, saw that expression and was stunned. Isn't this real?" The shopkeeper excitedly held the paper and ran off, shouting loudly, "Let me go check its authenticity." Jiang Than and the shopkeeper he had just spoken to replied immediately, "As long as it's real, the Pill Pavilion will give you the blood spirit grass as a gift. Don't run." Lam Vien and Tuyet Ni were completely dumbfounded. When they regained their senses, Tuyet Ni hurriedly hugged Lam Van's arm, tears welling up in her eyes. "Brother Lam Van Huyen already agreed to me. Lam Van, ashamed and enraged, pointed his finger and shouted, "You little good for nothing, I wanted this blood spirit grass first. If you know what's good for you, hand it over quickly." Jiang Than, finding his words irritating, scratched his ear. "Who the hell are you?" Jiang Than thought to himself, "This guy has provoked me 5 or 6 times, does he want to die?" Tuyetni also shouted loudly, "What did you say? How dare you speak to our Thinvo Sect's young sect leader like that?" Jiang Than repeated Thinvo Sect's young sect leader as he spoke. Jiang Than thought, "Why do I have such a connection with the Thinvo Sect?" Lam Van raised his chin arrogantly. "Knowing you're scared, you should quickly kneel down and kowtow. Maybe I'll even spare your life." Jiang Than's anger flared up. Suddenly something pressured Jiang Than, causing him to stop. Lam Van sneered, looking at the good-for-nothing. "Look at him, scared." From the door, a dignified old man walked in. Followed by a white-clad young woman with her face veiled, someone exclaimed, "Tai Am." Jiang Than said, "This is Tai Am power." Jiang Than rubbed his chin, thought for a moment, and then said, "No, that's already the late stage of the Tai Am physique. If the yin poison isn't resolved within 10 days, she'll surely die." The old man's footsteps faltered. The old man's eyes widened in surprise as he asked Jiang Than, "Young brother, how did you know that?" The old man thought to himself, "Just one look, and he could see through the Tai Am physique. Could it be that he has a way to save my granddaughter?" Jiang Than pointed and explained, "Because I understand how yin transforms. After yin transformation, it can become the Tai Am holy body." The old man said warmly, "Young brother, could you elaborate?" Lam Van, being ignored, shouted angrily, "Little good for nothing." Lam Van circulated his energy and rushed towards Jiang Than. "Do you take me for air?" Jiang Than said coldly, "Oh right, I forgot about you." A flash of light appeared accompanied by the word scram. Lam Van was immediately sent flying backward, crying out several times. Lam Van fell and hit the ground hard. The old man stood with surging energy glaring at Lam Van. The old man turned on his heel and glanced at him. "Today, I have business with this young brother. Anyone who dares to interfere will bear the consequences on the old man's belt." A token was revealed with the name Thuong Son Tuyet Hai. Tuyet Nye went to Lam Van's side and looked up brother Lam Van, the insignia on his belt. "Thuong Son Tuyet Hai." The old man gestured to Jiang Than. "Young brother, please have a seat." Jiang Than replied respectfully, "As you command." Lam Van, though injured, still spoke loudly. "Tuyetni, help me back to the sect. Ask the elders to take action. I can't touch anyone from Thuong Son Tuyet Hai, but can't we deal with a poor little devil?" Lam Van, his face covered in dirt, gritted his teeth. "Today I want him to kneel down and beg." The three of them, Jiang Than and the old man Thuong Son Tuyet Hai, sat down at the table. The old man gestured towards the veiled young woman, Little Fifth. "Take off your hat so this young brother can see." Little Fifth slowly removed her hat, shyly tucking her hair behind her ear. The old man Thuong Son Tuyet Hai asked, "May I ask, young brother, how can my granddaughter's Tai Am physique be transformed?" Little Fifth's beauty made Jiang Than slightly stunned. Jiang Than coughed a few times. "The method isn't convenient to speak of. I can help her transform her yin, but the condition is that she must stay by my side." Jiang Than rubbed his chin, the rare Tai Am holy body. It's time the myriad religions started recruiting disciples with good aptitudes. Little Fifth thought to herself, "This young man is so impudent, grandfather definitely won't agree." The old man Thuong Son Tuyet Hai stroked his beard thoughtfully. "If you don't explain how to transform the yin, how can I possibly agree to this?" Jiang Than smiled slightly, propped his hand on the table and stood up. "If you don't agree, how can I possibly tell you?" Jiang Than turned away and waved his hand. "Your life only has 10 days left. I'll give you 10 days to consider. If you agree, come find me at the myriad religions." Thuong Son Tuyet Hai's face was stern and he said nothing. Little Fifth walked with the old man Thuong Son Tuyet Hai, chatting. "Grandfather, his age is about the same as mine, but his clothes are. Are the words of this kind of person trustworthy?" The old man Thuong Son Tuyet Hai's expression became slightly heavy. He spoke of your condition in one breath. "I can't not believe him. Moreover, you only have 10 days left. There's no other way." The old man Thuong Son Tuyet Hai thought perhaps he is the last hope. At some alchemy furnace, the shopkeeper from before hugged the pill furnace and hurriedly shouted, "Where is the Grandmaster who provided the hemostasis powder prescription? Where are you? Grandmaster! Grandmaster! Where are you? Grandmaster! Oh, father, where are you?" Jiang Than leaned against a pillar and asked, "What are you guys doing?" Jiang Than thought, "Don't I have any dignity?" The shopkeeper saw Jiang Than and his eyes lit up. He presented the pill furnace to Jiang Than. "You are the Grandmaster. I followed your prescription and successfully refined the pill. It is indeed hemostasis powder. This prescription has been lost for a long time. May I ask for your honorable name, Grandmaster?" Jiang Than looked slightly embarrassed. "Jiang Than of the myriad religions, the hemostasis powder prescription isn't fake. Can you give me the blood spirit grass now?" Jiang Than held his head, thinking, "My damn charm, wherever I go, I reap such rewards." The shopkeeper was overjoyed, of course. Another person came over carrying the blood spirit grass. "This is the blood spirit grass, please accept it." Jiang Than held the blood spirit grass in his hand, thinking about something. Then Jiang Than scratched his head embarrassedly and made a request. Can I borrow the pill pavilion's pill furnace and medicinal herbs? I want to refine some pills. Jiang Than thought, why has the myriad religions fallen to such a state that it doesn't even have a pill furnace? All the disciples of the pill pavilion said in unison, Grandmaster wants to personally refine pills. We are extremely honored. Please, the hemostasis powder prescription is priceless. The medicinal herbs here are yours to choose from. Jiang Than approached the pill furnace and raised his hand. All right then, I will suddenly, a loud voice interrupted. Stop, right there. Dongtang walked over and scolded. What are you doing? A bunch of alchemists who have lost all sense of status and dignity, bowing and scraping before a mere brat. It's truly an eyesore. The disciples clasped their hands and explained. Senior Dongtang shouted, shut your mouths. Dongtang turned to Jiang Than. Boy, with these medicinal materials, you want to refine blood spirit pills. Jiang Than crossed his arms. You have some knowledge. Dongtang frowned. Even this old man can't refine blood spirit pills. Where does a young whippersnapper like you get the confidence to play tricks in my pill pavilion? You'll have to pay the price. An alchemist whispered to Jiang Than. Grandmaster Senior Dongtang has been a third-grade alchemist for 10 years. Jiang Than wondered, third grade 10 years ago. Jiang Than slightly narrowed his eyes, thinking I became an alchemist at the age of 10 and a 9th-grade alchemist at 17. With such low talent, where does he get the confidence to criticize me? Jiang Than ignored him and threw the medicinal ingredients into the pill furnace. Useless to talk so much. Dongtang's eyes widened in disbelief at Jiang Than's actions. Dongtang shouted loudly, when refining pills you must warm the furnace first, then add the medicinal materials, and only then can you refine the pills. You also have to pay attention to controlling the temperature of the fire. This is truly making a mockery of pill refining. Stop right now. The alchemists whispered to each other, is this really a grandmaster, or just a swindler could it be that we've misunderstood? Suddenly the pill furnace emitted a sound. Everyone was astonished, thinking, what? From the pill furnace bloomed a radiant, fully opened lotus flower, shining brilliantly. Dongtang's mouth hung open. This is impossible. The alchemists held their heads. Their eyes, wide birth origin. Flower supreme grade pill. A supreme grade pill that even Senior Dong couldn't refine. Jiang Than looked at the pill in his hand with a disdainful expression. Only supreme grade, Jiang Than thought to himself. Ordinary pills are divided into common, middle grade, high grade, superior grade, and supreme grade. After that are the yellow, profound, earth, and heaven. 4 grades in the past, I casually refined heaven-grade pills. It has indeed declined. Jiang Than didn't even look at it and tossed the pill away, causing the people there to worry and catch it. The alchemist held the pill in his hand, blaming Jiang Than. Grandmaster, a supreme-grade blood spirit pill. How could you just throw it away? What a waste of heaven's bounty. Dongtang's hair was disheveled in shock, his voice trembling. What do you mean? Only supreme grade isn't supreme grade enough? A loud wah of astonishment rang out. Dongtang's eyes widened, his mouth agape, even more surprised. He stammered, this. A birth origin pill emerged from the furnace. Everyone was astonished upon seeing it. Dongtang couldn't help but exclaim, a birth origin pill. The people outside marveled. How is this possible? Rumor has it that only supreme grade pills and above can produce a birth origin pill. Jiang Than was very self-satisfied at this moment. It seems I do have some understanding. Was I perhaps acting too much? Dongtang immediately changed his attitude. It was my shallow knowledge that prevented me from recognizing the Grandmaster. Do you have a place to go? Yet why not stay at the pill pavilion? The people around him crowded around, pleading, yes, Grandmaster, please stay. The pill pavilion's treatment is very good. Jiang Than coldly refused. No need for thanks. Thank you for lending me the furnace. I am a member of the myriad religions and will not switch to another sect. After speaking, he turned and left, leaving the group of Pill Pavilion members standing there looking at him. They discussed among themselves unexpectedly, the Grandmaster is a member of the myriad religions. They say the myriad religions has declined, but with such a Grandmaster, the future is limitless. One person with a surprised expression said, Senior Dong Yu. Dongtang ran off saying, what you said makes a lot of sense, therefore I'm leaving the Pill Pavilion in your hands. I must prepare to go to the myriad religions to become a disciple. Jiang Than arrived at the outer sect and was stunned. He scolded, how could even the donkey be stolen by others? It seems I'll have to rely on myself for this 30-mile journey. Suddenly Jiang Than sniffed. What's that? What smells so good? In a corner, the group of people who had stolen Jiang Than's donkey earlier were enjoying the donkey meat we roasted. That poor devil's donkey, he probably has to walk back now. That's right, your plan was truly detrimental to him. However, this donkey smells delicious. Seeing this, Jiang Than gritted his teeth in anger. That's my donkey. It was the last donkey of the myriad religions. The donkey thieves saw Jiang Than standing not far away and even provoked him, taunting, hey, sect leader, The taste of the mount of a human is not bad at all, haha, want to try a piece? Jiang Than could no longer endure it. I am a divine king, and originally didn't want to bother with you, but now it seems I need to teach you a lesson. So he showed them no mercy and taught them a lesson. That group of people was sent flying far away by Jiang Than, crying out miserably. The remaining ones shouted fiercely, "You have guts, you dare to commit violence in Than Van Town. Go to hell." Jiang Than frowned and looked at him. He also let him taste the same powerful treatment as the other three. Jiang Than sighed, the wrath of a god, how can mortals withstand it? That person was beaten to the ground, blood flowing from his mouth. He said angrily, "You!" Outsiders who saw this scene were dumbfounded in astonishment. Some even felt worried and fearful for him. You can't fight in Than Van Town. Moreover, the person you hit is a guard of Than Van Town. Kid, you're in big trouble. Humph. So what if you're the sect leader of the arrogant myriad religions? You'll probably have a hard time getting out of Than Van Town. Just at this moment, Leader Vuong arrived. Boy, daring to cause trouble in Than Van Town, are you looking down on me? The people outside whispered to each other this time. There's a good show to watch. Leader Vuong is in the upper body, tempering realm. This kid injured 4 guards. He definitely won't get away. Jiang Than glanced at him. If I want to leave, who can stop me? Then he noticed that this person had reached the upper body, tempering realm, which was a bit troublesome. It seems I have to use my real skills. But what martial skills can I currently use? Well, then I'll play with you. Leader Vuong took the initiative to attack, daring to cause trouble. In Than Van Town, you're asking for Death Lion Fist. Jiang Than's lips curled into a sneer. Nether darkness, heavenly dance. The onlookers outside were dumbfounded in shock. A ting sound rang out. Leader Vuong had fallen miserably to the ground, bleeding. He couldn't fight back, only gritting his teeth in anger. You. Jiang Than warned, if there's a next time, it won't be this simple. Everyone was astonished by Jiang Than's previous actions. What did he do? It was too fast. This guard relied on his strong power in Than Van Town to bully others for many years. But now he's lost. How is that possible? Jiang Than suddenly stood still. A sword blade flashed across in front of him. The young master of the Thin Vo sect held a sword. Arrogantly poor brat. From before you were very arrogant in the Pill Pavilion. I want to see who can save you this time. Jiang Than saw him. So it's you again, an acquaintance. You've provoked me 5 or 6 times. Do you know the consequences? Suddenly a strange person rushed over, catching Jiang Than off guard. Without saying a word, he launched an attack. Thin Lam Van was smug consequences. Thin Lam Van's guard said, young master of my Thin Vo sect is someone you can lay a hand on. Thin Lam Van sneered disdainfully. Poor brat, are you scared yet? Now I'll give you a chance. Kneel down and lick my shoes clean and I'll spare you. Jiang Than wiped away the blood. He looked at the group of people. This is the lower origin manifestation realm. He was furious, his eyes emitting light. Your words enrage me. Thin Lam Van mocked. So what if you're enraged? How can a little upper spirit connection realm trash fight against my Thin Vo sect's elder? Then he ordered capture him. 2 subordinates immediately obeyed. Just at this moment, Dong Tang appeared. He said loudly, let me see who dares to lay a hand on the Grandmaster. Get lost. Seeing Dong Tang arrive, Jiang Than was somewhat pleased. It seems I don't need to take action today. Hearing Dong Tang's address, Thin Lam Van's eyes and mouth formed an O shape in astonishment. Grandmaster Dong, don't let him deceive you. What kind of Grandmaster is he? Dong Tang was furious. Shut your mouth. Is a distinguished guest of my Pill Pavilion. Someone you can humiliate. You're from the Thin Vo sect. Are you so high and mighty that even my Pill Pavilion can't hold a knife to you? Hearing this, everyone couldn't help but be astonished. What, isn't he just some random new sect leader? How did he become a distinguished guest of the Pill Pavilion? Grandmaster Dong Tang is the #1 alchemist in our town, yet he's protecting this guy. That's right. There must be a mistake. Thin Lam Van reminded Grandmaster Dong, I've investigated this guy. He's just the new sect leader of the myriad religions. What qualifications does he have to become a distinguished guest of the Pill Pavilion? Dong Tang shouted, whether he has qualifications or not is none of your business. Thin Vo sect, you're just an 8th-rate sect. Yet you dare to strut around in my Pill Pavilion, let alone a small 8th-rate sect. Even a 1st-rate sect wouldn't dare to cause trouble with my Pill Pavilion. Thin Lam Van calculated that Dong Tang was using the Pill Pavilion's name to protect Jiang Than. If this continued, he might offend the Pill Pavilion. So he decided to give up. What are you saying? Grandmaster Dong, my Thin Vo sect has always been friendly with the Pill Pavilion today. I'll take my leave first. He frowned and ordered his subordinates, let's go. The 2 guards obeyed his command. Not far away, several people from the Pill Pavilion carrying large and small bags. Some even dragging pill furnaces were walking down the road, sweating profusely. Grandmaster Dong, you ran so fast to find the Grandmaster. What for? We almost couldn't keep up with you. Hey Grandmaster, you've caught up. Seeing them, Dong Tang glanced at them helplessly. Can't the Pill Pavilion afford to feed you? Why are you following me? Then he turned to Jiang Than with a cheerful attitude. However, Grandmaster, you're injured. The Thin Vo sect probably won't let this go. Why don't we escort you back to the myriad religions and conveniently help you refine some healing pills? Jiang Than was stunned. You don't plan to move the pill pavilion to the myriad religions, do you? Dongtang and the others replied without any embarrassment. We're going to the myriad religions to enjoy the scenery. Yes, we're just visiting as guests to admire the scenery. That's right. Jiang Than sighed. He thought about today's events. Fortunately, Dongtang was there, otherwise I would have probably met trouble here. After a while, he decided, let's set off, then find some mounts to ride, and conveniently bring some medicinal herbs and pill furnaces. Dongtang and the others happily agreed. Yes, don't worry, Grandmaster, we've brought everything. Jiang Than and Dongtang's group left, leaving the people outside dumbfounded. Is that a fake Grandmaster? Dong Than Van Town's #1 alchemist is following the Myriad Religions sect leader. So respectfully, this new sect leader of the Myriad Religions seems very capable. Maybe the Myriad Religions is about to rise again. Little Fifth and her grandfather stood not far away, witnessing all of Jiang Than's actions. Little Fifth took off her veil and asked Grandfather what exactly is his background. These alchemists seem very respectful towards him. Little Fifth's grandfather replied uncertainly, I don't know, however, judging by the current situation, his claim that he can cure you might not be a lie. Little Fifth looked sad and lowered her head. Then are we going to the myriad religions? Her grandfather stroked his beard. We'll go, but not now. Let's wait and see. An hour later, Jiang Than and Dongtang's group had arrived at the myriad religions. The 6th sect leader was shocked, unable to believe his eyes, and stammered Jiang Than. These dozen or so grandmasters from the Pill Pavilion all want to stay temporarily at our myriad religions. Jiang Than replied calmly, I think so. Dongtang and the others all had eager and expectant expressions. The 6th sect leader was overjoyed in his heart. A dozen or so alchemists, the myriad religions, is about to rise. Dongtang politely asked Grandmaster, where will we stay in the future? Jiang Than replied, follow that guy and tell him to arrange things for you, he instructed. I need to take some pills and cultivate for a bit. Don't come and disturb me if there's nothing important. Dongtang was still curious. May I ask, Grandmaster, what grade were the pills you refined just now? Jiang Than replied as he walked profound grade sigh. I'll have to make do with that for now. Hearing this, Dongtang and the others seemed relieved. Only profound grade. Meanwhile, the 6th sect leader was warmly entertaining the guests. Grandmasters, let's set off. But something seemed wrong. Profound grade inside Jiang Than was focused on cultivating. Another object was opened immediately. Light filled Jiang Than's entire body and the room. After a while, Jiang Than opened his eyes as expected. The profound grade blood spirit pill's medicinal efficacy is weak. It can only open 2 spirit meridians. Fortunately, those alchemists brought quite a few medicinal herbs, if I refine all of them. Suddenly, Jiang Lu rushed into Jiang Than's room in a panic. Lao Da. Jiang Than rushed over and helped Jiang Lu up. What's wrong? Jiang Lu reported, Lao Da, the people from the Thin Vo sect have attacked our gate. Everyone has betrayed the sect. Only the 6th sect leader is still resisting. Hearing this, Jiang Than was immediately furious. The Thin Vo sect again. He thought, do they think my myriad religions is so easy to bully? Outside, Lam Van led a group of people standing in front of the 6th sect leader. Lam Van said arrogantly, Luke Than, things have come to this point and you're still resisting. As long as you hand over Jiang Than and surrender to me, I guarantee you won't die. Lam Van's subordinates also chimed in. That's right, Luke Than, don't resist anymore. Jiang Than isn't worth it. Join us and rely on the Thin Vo sect. We guarantee you'll have plenty to eat and drink in the future. Luke Than said resolutely, from the day I entered the myriad religions, I have been a person of the myriad religions. Even in death, I will be a ghost of the myriad religions. I am not comfortable with that Jiang Than, but he is now the sect leader of the myriad religions. I will absolutely not hand him over in exchange for a chance to live. Jiang Than, hearing all those words from behind, couldn't help but sigh. This Luke Than is truly loyal and righteous towards the myriad religions. He stepped forward in front of Lam Van's group. It's you again. Lam Van said loudly, Jiang Than, you've finally come out. I'm here for one thing today, a life for a life. Today is your day of death, Dongtang shouted. Thin Lam Van, your tone is too arrogant. How dare you speak to the Grandmaster like that? Do you not take my pill pavilion seriously? Lam Van said lightly. Grandmaster Dong Jiang Than killed Elder Mukfong. Go a life for a life is a principle of heaven and earth. How could this possibly concern the pill pavilion? Dongtang hesitated, unable to refute. Jiang Than also said, this is a personal feud between me and the Thin Vo sect. You don't need to get involved. Lam Van raised his voice. I heard that the Tao Stele of the myriad religions has shattered, and along with it, the Guardian formation has also been destroyed. Today is the day of the myriad religions' destruction. Jiang Than's lips curled into a sneer. Oh, what you said seems to be quite right. Thank you for the reminder. It seems I should also make some preparations. As soon as he finished speaking, Jiang Than reached out his hand. A terrifying aura emanated, causing Lam Van's group to be stunned. What is this? This isn't the power of the Guardian formation. What is this? Jiang Than rushed forward, saying, I'll let you know. This is the power of the divine sealing spirit imprint. Jiang Than struck Lam Van's chest with a palm, causing blood to spray out. He cried out miserably. He clutched his chest. What have you done? My cultivation has been crippled. Jiang Than warned within 10 days, if the Thinvo sect dares to attack the myriad religions, the spirit seal in your body will prevent you from ever resolving it. The divine thoughts left by my disciples are limited and have already disappeared. It seems I need to prepare a backup plan. Even so, Lam Van was not worried at all. He laughed loudly with disdain. A mere upper spirit connection realm. Brat's seal. How powerful can it be? This is truly laughable. Then he ordered, where are the origin manifestation realm elders? 3 subordinates surrounded him, seemingly channeling spiritual power into him. But immediately after, fresh blood spurted from Lam Van's eyes, nose, and entire body. He cried out in confusion and pain. What's going on? Stop it quickly. Jiang Than reminded, unless a Tao comprehension realm cultivator is willing to expend their life essence to break the seal for you only, I can resolve this spirit seal. The spirit seal will only exist in your body for 10 days. After 10 days, it will disappear on its own. If the Thinvo sect dares to attack the myriad religions, at that time the consequence will be your life. Lam Van could still speak forcefully. In 10 days, the seal will be lifted. So what? How could that possibly threaten my Thinvo sect, seeing that he still looked down on him? Jiang Than sneered, can't threaten you, huh? Then Jiang Than used his spiritual power to set up some kind of formation and pushed it into Lam Van's body. Lam Van couldn't bear the pain and screamed, my spirit meridians. Jiang Than gave an order, get lost. Now Lam Van couldn't offer any resistance or retort. His 3 subordinates hurriedly supported him. Young master, we'll take you back right away, don't worry. Wait 10 days. After 10 days. Lam Van's group had no choice but to drag themselves away. Luke Than worried. What about 10 days? The Guardian formation has been destroyed. After 10 days, the Thinvo sect can flatten the myriad religions as easily as before. Jiang Than said sternly, I only need 10 days. If they dare to come after 10 days, I will kill them. After dealing with Lam Van's matter, Jiang Than called Dong Tang, come with me to Than Van Town for a trip. Dong Tang wondered, Grandmaster, what are we going to Than Van Town for at this time? Jiang Than said with a calculating look, of course, to prepare for my myriad religions. The scene shifted to Than Van Town's formation pavilion. Dong Tang and Jiang Than had arrived. Jiang Than stepped into the formation pavilion. Dong Tang asked in surprise, Grandmaster, what are you doing here? Jiang Than replied, to buy materials. Jiang Than reminded him, since you're staying at my myriad religions, you have to pay rent. Hearing this, Dong Tang expressed, oh, Grandmaster, you imparted the great kindness of the Tao of pills to me. If there's anything you need, please just say the word. Just then, Lao Son, leaning on a cane, stepped out. Isn't this 3rd-grade alchemist Grandmaster Dong Tang? What brings you to our formation pavilion today? Hearing his tone, Dong Tang replied, Lao Son, I'm here to buy some materials with the Grandmaster. Can't I come to this formation pavilion? Lao Son looked up at Jiang Than. Seeing his shabby appearance, he sneered inwardly. Dressed so raggedly, he's even worthy of coming to my formation pavilion. Not only that, but he also clearly showed his contempt through his words. Of course you can come, it's just that the materials in my formation pavilion are more expensive than the pills in your pill pavilion. Can your Grandmaster afford them? Dong Tang understood his intention and said awkwardly, we must get some new clothes for the Grandmaster. Dong Tang said loudly, I'll cover all the Grandmaster's expenses here. Then he whispered to Jiang Than, Grandmaster, how about we go buy some clothes late? Jiang Than agreed, that works too. I'll write down the materials and you can buy them. While Jiang Than wrote down what he needed, Dong Tang and Lao Son argued noisily. Dong Tang shouted, what are you looking at? A useless formation without the pills from my pill pavilion? How can you improve your cultivation? Lao Son refused to back down. How ridiculous! Without the formations from the formation pavilion, how would your pill pavilion set up a guardian formation? Jiang Than couldn't help but feel annoyed. As expected, the pill pavilion and the formation pavilion are still the same as before, not giving way to each other and constantly criticizing each other. The argument between the two sides still hadn't stopped. Dong Tang frowned. Lao Son, don't talk nonsense to this old man. If I'm unhappy, I'll double the price of all the pills you buy from my pill pavilion in the corner. Jiang Than finished writing and called Dong Tang, that's all. Dong Tang took Jiang Than's paper and said loudly, yesterday I'll take full responsibility for all the Grandmaster's expenses. Lao Son replied, those are your words, bring the list here. Lao Son read the contents of the paper and asked doubtfully, so many, what kind of formation do you want to set up? Dong Tang shouted, the Grandmaster wants to buy these things. What are you blabbering about? Hurry up and get them. My Grandmaster is very pressed for time. Lao Son sneered sinisterly. Is that so? He ordered his subordinates bring out all the materials inside. Jiang Than emphasized, You're not short on money, are you? Dongtang stroked his beard and said confidently, Not short at all. If I'm short, I can just sell a few pills. Half an incense stick later. Dongtang was stunned when he held the bill. What 3 supreme-grade spirit stones? He cursed Lao Son, Are you trying to swindle me? These materials combined are worth at most 3,000 supreme-grade spirit stones. 30,000 is already a year's income for my pill pavilion. Lao Son said smugly, The price of my formation pavilion is what I say it is. If you can't afford it, return them. Dongtang turned to Jiang Than with a worried face. Grandmaster, this is too expensive. I don't have that many spirit stones on me. Jiang Than said calmly, What to do? I don't have any money either. Lao Son smiled with a challenging look. No money yet. You still want to buy materials. Return the goods according to the rules. When returning goods, you also have to pay a fee of 3,000 supreme-grade spirit stones. Hand it over. Today you won't be able to leave the main gate of this formation pavilion. Dongtang was so angry that he gritted his teeth, wanting to step forward and settle things with action. Jiang Than stopped him negotiating with Lao Son. We don't have spirit stones. Can we use something else to trade? Lao Son said contemptuously, What good thing can a poor brat like you possibly take out? Jiang Than didn't want to broaden his horizons. Then you should watch carefully. I'll only demonstrate it once. Don't blame me if you can't remember it. Jiang Than acted immediately. The 2 people outside looked at each other in surprise. This is a formation diagram. Lao Son observed the complexity of this formation diagram. It even surpassed a heaven-grade formation. This formation was definitely not ordinary. Lao Son wanted to admire it again and suggested, Could you outline it once more? Seeing Lao Son's attitude, Dongtang said smugly, as expected of the Grandmaster, once he makes a move, it startles everyone. Jiang Than replied, I already said I would only demonstrate it once. Why blame me if you can't remember it? If you still want to see it, then you should show some sincerity. Lao Son asked, What kind of formation diagram is this? If it's an ordinary formation diagram, we have it in our formation pavilion. Jiang Than replied, The profound 9-grand formation, have you ever heard of it? Hearing this name, Lao Son couldn't help but be astonished. The profound 9-grand formation created by the heavenly God King, lost for a long time. Isn't this the formation the world calls the #1 defensive power? No, that's not right. Lao Son doubted this formation clearly disappeared when the heavenly God King ascended. You're talking nonsense. How do you expect me to believe you? Jiang Than turned to leave. Believe it or not, it's up to you. This time the formation materials I'm looking for are precisely to set up the lesser profound 9 protection formation. If you don't believe me, you can come and see for yourself. Lao Son hesitated. Such a mysterious formation. What if it's real? Finally, he decided to go. It doesn't matter, however, if you dare to deceive me, the fury of the formation pavilion is not something you can bear. Lao Son followed Jiang Than, leaning on his cane until they arrived at a place. He raised his head to look and was surprised. The myriad religions, why? You're a disciple of the myriad religions, he thought suspiciously. Could this person from this trash sect be trying to scam me? Thinking this, he asked again, Probing, so you want to set up a formation? Jiang Than raised his hand and looked ahead, replying, No, you guys. Clean up first, he pointed ahead. Lao Son was speechless. A few seconds later, all 3 people on Lao Son's side were furious and shouted, You told us to come here to clean up, you worthless myriad religions. Brat dares to deceive us. We are formation masters. People of the formation pavilion, do you think you can touch us? Jiang Than pouted and raised his hand, wiggling his fingers, indicating no cleaning. Can I clearly see the trend of the earth if it's not clean? Of course I can clean it myself, but the myriad religions has 7 mountain peaks, besides the main peak. The other 6 peaks all need cleaning. Can you guys wait? Hearing him say this, Lao Son suddenly fell silent. He gritted his teeth, suppressing his anger. After a moment of internal struggle, he finally decided to roll up his sleeves and start working. Before that, he threatened, Don't say any more, we can clean up for you. But if your so-called lesser profound 9 formation is a scam, we will make the myriad religions disappear forever from the godless continent. Before leaving, Jiang Than threw a scroll to Lao Son and said, This is the formation diagram I'm giving you. The materials are also in your hands. Remember to set up the formation after cleaning up. With that, he waved his hand and left, leaving Lao Son and his 2 followers dumbfounded. He read the scroll and couldn't help but be astonished. The more formation runes, the stronger the formation. This formation diagram alone has thousands of formation runes. Could this be a formation beyond the god level? Impossible. 3 days later, in the sect leaders' hall, Jiang Than sat in the center of the room, his eyes closed in cultivation. After a while, he slowly opened his eyes. A beam of light shot out from his eyes. At this moment, he had entered the great perfection of the spirit connection realm. From now on, the heavenly emperor's undying true key will be inexhaustible. After stabilizing his aura, Jiang Than looked at his hand and muttered to himself from ancient times to the present, how many people have failed at this step? Even if I do it again, I wouldn't dare to be careless. Fortunately, I succeeded. It's a pity I still can't step into the body-tempering realm. The Nine Twists Heavenly Star Art is the strongest cultivation technique of the spirit connection realm, and the strongest cultivation technique of the body-tempering realm, if I remember correctly. It should be the endless decree of the Dark Lord God. I never thought I'd have the chance to cultivate his technique after our initial discussions on the Tao. Stepping into a new life, I must cultivate every realm to its strongest and master all cultivation techniques. It's just that these cultivation techniques have somewhat harsh conditions, requiring the tempering of lightning. Outside, a bolt of lightning struck down. Jiang Than saw it and was astonished. The lesser profound 9 grand formation. He suddenly smiled with satisfaction. The formation is complete. At this moment, Lao Son excitedly ran in and exclaimed, "Grandmaster Jiang, have you seen it? The formation is complete. Even the city-protecting formation of Bakko City didn't have such terrifying phenomena. Heaven grade, this is definitely a heaven grade formation." Jiang Than smiled faintly outside and replied, perhaps he thought to himself, there are some formations that only 3 or more Tao Comprehension Realm cultivators working together can barely break. Then what does my Thinvo sect have to fear? Lao Son asked seriously, Grandmaster, seeing that the myriad religions has been in decline for so long and lacks formation talents. How do you see me? Jiang Than hesitated upon hearing this. He immediately interrupted, his eyes shining brightly. He stepped closer and expressed passionately, since I was young, I've had a dream to strive to restore the glory of the myriad religions. Jiang Than was startled by his enthusiasm and forced a smile. If you want to stay, just say so directly, why beat around the bush? The myriad religions happens to be lacking formation masters if you want to stay. Seeing him agree, Lao Son excitedly shouted, stay, we'll definitely stay. He secretly rejoiced unexpectedly, such a good thing. Jiang Than instructed, I've already given you the formation diagram of the lesser profound, 9 grand formation, as long as you truly want to work hard for the myriad religions. Lao Son resolutely replied, of course we all want to contribute our strength to help the myriad religions return to its peak. Hearing this, Jiang Than raised his hand. He drew a formation diagram in the air and requested, in that case, I'll give you another formation diagram. Help me arrange and complete this formation diagram within a day, consider it a gift to you. Lao Son excitedly recorded while replying, no problem, obtaining your formation diagram is the blessing of 3 lifetimes for my family. Jiang Than suddenly thought of something. He raised his hand and rubbed his chin, stating his price. Since you want to stay, the rent fee must still be paid. Consider the materials for setting up the formation as the rent fee. Hearing this, Lao Son felt despair in his heart. How much will the material fee be? He stammered. Grandmaster, why are you so stingy? Jiang Than took out a book from his robe and said, oh right, I prepared a book on the Tao of formations and a book on the Tao of pills. He looked pleased with himself. At this moment, Dongtang rushed in from outside, beckoning Lao Son aside. He took the book and expressed, Grandmaster, please let me, I can do it, let alone a portion of the myriad religions' medicinal materials. I'll cover all of them in the future. Seeing this, Lao Son's competitive spirit flared up. He reached out and pushed Dongtang's face, then snatched the book from his hand. He fawned. Grandmaster, I can do it too. What are expensive materials? They're not expensive at all. You're not stingy, Grandmaster. You're a living bodhisattva, a generous child. Jiang Than smiled helplessly, thinking, is Dongtang's brain short-circuiting? Could it be that he's been eavesdropping outside the door for a long time? While the two of them eagerly studied, he turned and pondered. Now the myriad religions doesn't lack formation or pill talents. I should also recruit more disciples to develop the sect. I wonder when that grandfather and granddaughter pair will come over after the yin transformation. The Tai Am physique will become the Tai Am holy body, and currently the position of the Tai Am Lord God in the heavenly god realm has always been vacant. Suddenly Jiang Lu rushed in unexpectedly and shouted Lao Da. Suddenly remembering something, he scratched his head awkwardly and said, oh, I forgot you're the sect leader of the myriad religions now. Greetings, sect leader. I heard Elder Dong was looking for you and unexpectedly followed you here. Jiang Than supported both of his arms and said, fool, no matter who I am, I will always be your good brother. Still the Jiang Than who was scorned and kicked out of the Tan Shuyan Jiang family. He thought to himself, since I have occupied this body, I am a member of the Jiang family. His brothers are also mine. Jiang Lu lowered his head sadly and expressed, I feel like you've changed. You used to be just like me. Jiang Than put his arm around his shoulder and comforted him. That's right, in the past. You and I were not only called trash in the family, but even after coming to the myriad religions, we were still called trash. But now it's different. Jiang Lu said sincerely, that's great. I've only opened 3 spirit meridians now. I'm afraid I won't be able to step into the Dao realm in this lifetime. If possible, I want to enter the Dao realm and see the scenery all over the world. Jiang Than smiled and asked, just entering the Dao realm. He then led Jiang Lu outside. Both looked up at the sky. He explained, I think your achievements won't be just that. The archaic holy body spirit meridians like locks have appeared a few times since ancient times, but no one knows how to unlock them. Over time, the archaic holy body has become known as the #1 trash physique in the world. And you are the archaic holy body, looking at the entire eastern wasteland. No more than 3 people know how to unlock the archaic holy body, and I am one of them. Hearing this, Jiang Lu asked in surprise, You mean I am the archaic holy body, and you can help me unlock it? Jiang Than replied silently, I can refine the flame-shattering pill for you to unlock it. If successful after use, you can unlock the archaic holy body. If not, you will die. Do you dare to try once? Hearing this, Jiang Lu broke out in a sweat and stammered. He clenched his fists. Trembling, his inner self was constantly struggling, being able to catch up to the elders. Perhaps there's only this one chance. Thinking this, Jiang Lu mustered all his courage and said, I dare. Jiang Than patted his shoulder with satisfaction and praised good. Once the pill is refined, I'll come find you after instructing him. He waved his hand and left his mind filled with thoughts to unlock the archaic holy body. The flame-shattering pill must be used, which requires the fiery flame grass to refine, and the fiery flame grass only grows deep within the sunset forest. It's been a long time since I've been to the sunset forest. I wonder what it's like now. The next day in the sunset forest, it was probably autumn. The maple trees had turned reddish-brown, and the fallen leaves danced in the wind below a group of people approached. Jiang Than frowned, thinking lustful fiend cultivators. It's normal for these people to seek profit by killing and seizing treasures. Just then the group blocked his path. The tallest one in the group smiled sinisterly and said, Little brat coming to the sunset forest alone. Jiang Than said indifferently, None of your business. Blocking the road, get out of the way. The bald-headed man burst into loud laughter. He pointed his finger at Jiang Than's face and sneered, Little brat, quite arrogant. Let me tell you the truth. This old man is here to rob you. If you know what's good for you, hand over all your valuables. Otherwise, his subordinates immediately clamored, Boss, why waste words with him? That's right, just rob him. Jiang Than smiled and said, Your eyesight is truly terrible. I'm really poor, moreover. Before he could finish speaking, the bald-headed man swung his sword and rushed forward, shouting, Then die. Jiang Than also channeled his spiritual power to retaliate. He was indeed not easy to deal with. Just then a sword shot over. The bald-headed man was pierced through the body by the sword. A loud shout rang out, how audacious, daring to rob in broad daylight. The robber spat out a mouthful of fresh blood. He immediately turned around and questioned who. Jiang Than was also curious and tilted his head to look. Behind them, a young man holding a sword, and 2 others stood facing them. The young man frowned and said, Star Sword Sect disciples are here. Let's see if you still dare to act violently. The bald-headed man gritted his teeth and cursed, I originally thought I found a fat sheep, but unexpectedly encountered disciples of a great sect. What bad luck. Thinking this, he and his men left, not forgetting to warn before leaving. Consider yourself lucky to have met Star Sword Sect disciples protecting you, brat. Jiang Than crossed his arms in front of his chest and chuckled, Your luck is good. Perhaps it's theirs. However, as far as I know, the Star Sword Sect is nearly 300 miles away from the Sunset Forest. What are these 3 people doing here? The young man then sheathed his sword and asked, Are you all right? Jiang Than replied, I'm fine, thank you. The person behind the young man frowned and said unhappily, With this little cultivation, you dare to come to the Sunset Forest. Even if you don't die in the hands of the lustful fiend cultivators, you'll die in the hands of demon beasts like the Qin Guyen. Next time you encounter something like this, it's best not to waste your time. Let's go with that. He walked away unhappily. The girl beside him politely waved goodbye to Jiang Than Qi, and Guyen, hearing this, had no choice but to obey his senior brother. Jiang Than watched the group walk away, sneering inwardly, mid-stage spirit connection realm, only yet so arrogant. This sunset forest is located in the south of Thanvan town. There are many demon beasts, and even Dao, comprehension realm demon kings, appear. Just as he finished thinking, the ground shook, causing more leaves to fall from the maple trees. He immediately turned back to look. At this moment, a huge demon beast appeared in front of the 3 people. A fight then. The demon beast charged towards them. Qin Guyen's senior brother immediately drew his sword and rushed forward to meet the attack. He frowned slightly, then he leaped up and danced with his sword, slashing at the demon beast. After a few exchanges, he said smugly, A small demon dares to block our path. Jiang Than was speechless, thinking to himself, Are they really stupid or just ignorant? With a green fire. Bitch New appearing. There are definitely more green fire. Bitch New around fighting like this. When the other green fire Bitch New arrive and entangle them, they'll be dead. Sure enough, just as he predicted, when this green fire Bitch Ngu was defeated. Within a few seconds, a whole herd of countless creatures rushed over. The senior brother cried out in panic, "Why are there so many green fire bitch Nangu?" The junior sister stammered in fear. "We're doomed." Kain Guyen immediately reminded his senior brother, quickly retreat." Jiang Than assessed at this moment, "This is a green fire. Bitchangu King, mid-stage, nascent soul realm, forget it, for Kain Guyen's sake. I'll help them once." Thinking this, he immediately said, "What are you still standing there for?" Kain Guyen saw him, and was surprised. "Why is it you hurry up and leave?" The senior brother snapped angrily, "Scram, are you here to die? There's a herd of green fire bitchngu, and a king here. We don't have time to protect you." Jiang Than walked to his side and sneered, "Your mind's eye isn't bad. It's just your mouth that's foul. Good deeds are rewarded, understand?" The senior brother asked doubtfully, "What are you planning to do?" At this moment, the green fire bitchngu king suddenly jumped up on its hind legs. It opened its mouth and spewed out a stream of green fire. The junior sister cried out in panic, "This is bad. This is the green fire. Bitchangu King's ultimate skill, Man Thien Than Hoa." Jiang Than was not afraid at all. He formed a hand seal and chanted the 9 words, "Battle Secret," smiling as he asked, "Little ox demon, you want to kill me?" The hand-like mountain seal formed and a tremendous power erupted from his body. The senior brother was shocked. His mouth agape. True Ki, condensing into a Hong Chung Kain Guyen, realized this is definitely not a technique that someone in the body tempering realm can use. On the other side, the surging True Ki from Jiang Than swirled and condensed into a shield, blocking the green fire, Bitchangu King's Manthien Than Hoa. Everyone cheered joyfully. "Great, it's blocked." Suddenly, a crack appeared on the shield. Then it spread rapidly. Jiang Than's sighed. "Unfortunately, my cultivation is still not enough. I can only block it for a moment." Seeing this, Kain Guyen and his senior brother cried out gravely, "This is bad." Both brothers immediately leaped up. The senior brother stood in front of Jiang Than and said, "You can't participate. Leave quickly." Kain Guyen also urged, "Hurry up and go, senior brother, and I won't be able to hold them off for long." Jiang Than smiled and said, "What's the panic?" He walked forward again, facing the group of green fire bitch Nangu. His hand rose again, forming a seal. This time it was the seal of 10,000 beasts. As the seal formed, a golden light instantly wrapped around the green fire Bitchngu King. Kain Guyen's senior brother asked in surprise. He knows the secret art of the 10,000 beasts sect. Kain Guyen exclaimed in astonishment, "So you're this powerful? Could it be that you're a disciple of the 10,000 beasts sect?" Jiang Than didn't answer. He used his lightness skill to leap up and reminded them, "You're wasting too much time talking. My cultivation isn't enough to maintain the seal of 10,000 beasts for long. Take advantage of this time to get out of the green fire Bitchngu's attack range to survive." The 3 people then followed. The senior brother asked as they ran, "What if we don't leave?" Jiang Than replied, "Then of course you'll die." After running for a long time, the group finally stopped. Hearing the commotion behind them, Kain Guyen's senior brother guessed it seems the time limit of the seal of 10,000 beasts is up. The junior sister fearfully grabbed his sleeve and asked, "Then do we still have to run?" Jiang Than explained, "No need to worry, it's safe. Now the green fire Bitchngu's attack range is nearly 50 miles. We've already gone over 100 miles away." The senior brother asked in astonishment, "We were running like crazy. You could still calculate the distance." Kain Guyen also wondered. "You're so tired, yet you still had the strength to calculate." Only the junior sister exclaimed in delight, "So cool." Jiang Than asked nonchalantly, "Isn't this basic? Now that we've gone deep into the sunset forest, I have other matters to attend to. I'll take my leave here." The 3 of them clasped their hands and bowed, expressing their gratitude. "Thank you for saving our lives. Farewell. May we meet again if fate allows." After bidding farewell to the 3, Jiang Than walked and pondered. The green fire Bitchngu originally operates deep within the sunset forest, yet they appeared in the outer regions. The Star Sword sect disciples 300 miles away also appeared in the sunset forest. Could all these things happening at the same time really be a coincidence? He suddenly sniffed the air. There was a faint smell of blood. Looking ahead, he saw several demon beasts hovering over some human corpses, whose bodies, their faces looked as if their life essence had been drained. Only skin and bones remained, looking terrifying. Jiang Than rubbed his chin and judged the blood essence in their bodies has completely disappeared. This is... At the same moment, a trembling voice cried out, "Demoness murderer! She's practicing demonic arts, killing and sucking blood." Hearing this, Jiang Than unconsciously smiled with great interest and expressed, "Interesting. I haven't been to the sunset forest for 3,000 years, and now I immediately encounter such strange things." Jiang Than went to a corner to observe. At this moment, a girl was surrounded by 4 people. The girl said, "Demonic arts. What's demonic about it? Moreover, these people weren't killed by me. They were already dead before I arrived here." The 4 people with sinister faces questioned, "You killed people and don't even dare to admit it. Even if these people weren't killed by you, can you deny that you're practicing the heaven-devouring demonic art?" The woman replied, all the cultivation techniques in the world don't distinguish between righteous and evil. If they exist, then there's a reason for it. The Thin Vo sect looks like a righteous sect. But what you're doing now, what is it?